welcome to our October Planning Commission meeting. I will start by having
Banging the
roll
gavel.
call. What? Pardon me?
Banging the gavel.
Well, we'll take a roll call to establish a quorum. We'll start down at the end there.
Cheryl Rainey Hunt.
Brad Valentine.
Jenny Sisson.
Carol Hannah.
Bob Jewell.
Okay, we are good to go. Let me get up with my agenda here. Pretty short agenda, so we can work right through it. I think the first thing we need to do is to review the minutes from our prior meeting. So if we want to take a moment to do that, and then I will entertain a motion to approve those unless there are any changes.
Make a motion that we accept meeting minutes. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, those have been approved, so we have no old business this evening, and we'll go right to our new business. Okay, recommendation on comprehensive plan and our downtown revitalization.
I don't have a brand new presentation to give to you tonight. It is, what we have or what I have up here is. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What I have tonight is generally everything that I brought to you guys last month, for both the comp plan and the downtown revitalization plan. So we can go ahead and go through it. Really, I would say the only thing that is different, between now and last month is that we did update the future land use map. So one of the things that,
Do you have that in here? Can we go to it?
yeah, do you want me to give you the full, like, horse and pony show, or do we just want to talk about the changes since last month? It's totally up to you guys.
I think the changes. Yeah.
Just talk about changes. Okay,
That's our goal tonight,
they
is
were all
to make a
here.
recommendation.
Correct.
That's
Right.
what we're- Okay.
yes. Maybe let me talk through process first and then we can talk about the changes. So what we are doing is, this is kind of the first step in the adoption process. So tonight you guys will take a look at this. Hopefully you've had enough time in the last month or so to review the full comp plan and the downtown revitalization plan. So tonight you guys would be making a recommendation that would then get forwarded to the town council. And then the town council has the ultimate decision on whether or not the plan gets adopted. But of course, you guys are the body that this all starts with, and making that recommendation is important. So, if we can go to, I don't know what page we're on for the, you can flip through and see a map. That's where we need to stop.
Page 13.
There we go.
Wait, that pass it, sorry.
Oh,
There we
that's the
go.
old
Is
one.
that it? No,
Let's keep
okay.
going. That was the 2018.
Oh.
Oh,
There we go.
Is that it?
oh,
No,
No, it is. It
is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Right.
Make it-
Oh,
maybe.
Okay, yeah, we're good, we're good. Okay, so as you may know, the town is also working with HWC on an update to the interchange master plan. So the interchange at 219 and looking at the west side of the interstate and how that's gonna grow and change and evolve over time. So with that, we were trying to work together with the other team that is working on that to make sure that our future land use map for the comprehensive plan was going to be in alignment with what was coming out of that interchange master plan. Because we just didn't want to have, obviously you guys adopting something and then turning around and adopting another plan that isn't in alignment, would just be kind of silly. So we were really intentional on the way that those processes were going to be kind of moving in tandem, but yet separate, because we didn't want to have the interchange master plan be part of this in case there was something controversial that came out of either plan. We wanted to be able to keep them moving forward and not have one of them get hung up because of the other. So, so that's why we were trying to work, kind of on the back end to make sure things were in alignment. So just within the last month, with the interchange master plan process, there was just some adjustments on that future land use map. So it's generally,
Here's a pointer if you want to use it.
lovely thing. This area in particular is the area that got changed. And actually, Hannah, do you want to talk through what the requested changes were?
Yeah, so initially, this area was shown a lot more of this pink color, which is local commercial, your CVS's, your gas stations, your orthodontist offices, things like that. But in the I-69 master plan, updates that we did both last year and with the other HWC team with Chris Ham, we wanted to represent that there can be mixed housing in this area. The blob just kind of took up too much space and implied something different than I think we were going for, which was, last year when we had amended it, was allowing those potential local commercial uses if they, a developer wanted to, but also not just pigeonholing it into, either residential or commercial, and especially not executive style housing, because that's probably not going to fit along the interstate. So this dark yellow is the mixed residential, so that, that can be single family, but it can also allow multifamily townhomes, quads, perhaps an age restricted kind of thing. So, we wanted to show that change there, that, it's not just for commercial uses. There are, again, those can be peppered in, but along the highway there, with, our Keystone District kind of being the big attractor, probably really not gonna get that big attraction along the highway there. And we also recently discussed that in our I-69 interchange master plan update with Chris Ham as well. And he agreed with that, as the expert, that bring them commercial uses in, but this would probably be more geared towards a denser housing style along the highway, with some potential commercial, and then getting more into single family as you head towards Baker's Point.
So kind of a gradient that
Agreed.
changes as you get further away from the interstate.
And straight down from Baker's Point, either in the yellow or the pink, we approved that
The church,
church. Is it in the yellow?
it's in the pink.
Okay, so, and that's
Local commercial.
That's a local.
okay.
Mhm.
I couldn't remember if churches fell under industrial.
They're in-
secondary uses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they can be
I mean, they
considered
were already
institutional.
approved, but
Yeah.
I didn't.
So
want
those are the
any-
kind of like local things. It could be
Okay.
local, commercial, local, institutional, a daycare, a church. Things like that are appropriate to be peppered into these areas as well, but they don't need to be the main focus.
And
As long
in,
as we're good with, I didn't want any
Oh, yeah, no,
unintentional decisions when that decision was
Yeah.
made for that particular.
yeah. And those
Excellent.
secondary uses certainly do cover those things as well.
and that's something new for this comprehensive plan update too, is that in it, we do a description of the land use classification, but then we take it a couple steps further by saying these are primary uses in that land use classification, and then they're secondary uses. So institutional is on the map, but institutional uses are generally allowed in several of those other land use classifications as well. So because you can't have a perfect, I don't know, I mean, if you look at, the church that's down on South Pendleton Avenue, on this, it is blue, but it could be a residential area that you want to have a church in that residential area, and that's appropriate for a residential area
Right.
most times. So, having multiple uses within a land use classification is helpful. And even when you get to your zoning ordinance, having those multiple uses within the same, zoning classification is helpful.
Yeah.
Because then you have more of a neighborhood, neighborhoods are not this perfect, like, we're just gonna have this one use in this neighborhood. It needs to
Mhm.
have multiple uses so that people can walk to,
Right.
areas that are,
Yeah.
convenience stores or whatever, so. or
Although
church.
showing speckled pink is probably a little hard to follow,
Right.
because I kept using the word peppered,
Uh-huh.
like during all of these
Mhm.
conversations, instead of like this swooping commercial look, even though I know it's just a blob concept map, but.
Yeah.
So if that gives you an idea.
Yeah. And I think too, I got a little preview of the interchange master
Mhm.
plan, and I thought it was really cool. And if they have not done this for plan commission yet, you should try to pull Chris in or Caleb in to show. He was showing, how he was giving like the footprint of like Hamilton Town Center, like where the mall is, and showing like how much land space we actually have out here on the west side of the interchange. It just, ugh, I thought that was.
We had so much space. on
Yes,
this
it
west
just
side.
puts it into perspective
It
of
does.
like how much land we have to potentially develop out there, or that is gonna be developed at some point, whether we like it or not. So, making sure that we're planning for that appropriately with the right size scale and the right size uses. Like it kind of bent my brain a little bit, and I'm generally like in this world a lot. And then when he was showing me, well, this is what,
Oh, yeah.
the
It bent
Fisher's
my brain for
district,
sure.
that this is the size of Fisher's district compared to this area. I'm like, holy cow, we've got a lot of land over there. So, I'm really excited to see where that is going, and I'm glad that we were able to kind of align the two plans up, as we're moving forward. So that was generally the biggest change. We had gotten, Carol had sent some comments in, and we addressed those comments within the plan. So I feel like we didn't get a ton back, which is great because we didn't have to do a lot of changes. But if there's any other questions that you guys have, anything that's in here, I'm happy to talk through that. Brad?
The western purple,
Mm-hmm.
that is about where 146 extension will pop through as a gateway into the community, correct?
So it's
Right there.
700 right here. This 700 is 146th Street out of Hamilton County.
Is that light industrial? Is that heavy industrial? How are you viewing that?
So the land use classification for this is just industrial. And I don't think we give it a light or anything. It's a classification designed to provide areas suitable for manufacturing and logistics operations.
So during rezoning, if someone comes in, they have the ability to pick which zoning.
To ask for a zoning district, and you
Right.
guys have the
Ask for it.
control on whether or not you allow that particular use. to
So with
happen.
logistics, that could be warehousing similar to what we have at Mount Comfort, correct? That would be an appropriate use the way we've defined it.
I don't know what they manufacture there.
Well, they just have like the
Logistics,
larger,
that's warehousing.
yeah, warehousing.
Again, they would have to ask for zoning.
Right. Because right now, I think your current zoning out there is mostly agriculture. So any change that would happen, it would come to you. You guys would discuss it. You would look at this future land use map. It's industrial. It could be appropriate, but you still have to look at the type of industrial it would be. And if you guys are comfortable with that going in, and making your recommendation then on.
This is the area where we have the
Yeah.
the concrete plan, the concrete.
And I would say too that, Brad, I'm guessing your concern is that this is a gateway into our community. Are those the types of uses that we want in a gateway? And I think we need to think through too, or maybe keep in mind that the ordinances were updated. So buffers are better than what they used to be when we had the previous ordinance. And I think the other thing is, as we're doing road infrastructure projects and updates to like 700, there's standards that are in place now that are going to upgrade that road to be better and have, curb and gutter. And, if there's, right. So there's more, it's not just going to look like a county road. It is going to be a road that does get upgraded at some point. So there's some public realm stuff that would be, enhanced. And then there is public realm stuff that would be enhanced as well because of the new standards in the ordinance.
In this quadrant down here, with the purple, obviously the other side is not Pendleton.
The south of 69.
Correct. And then the north, well,
Like this is all lapel.
the other side, and it's not shown, it's really not that far to Cynthia Road, and then the, Innovation Mile is
Right.
being developed all the way that strip up until basically where this map is cut off, because I think that's Cynthia Road.
Yeah.
Which
Cynthia's probably
The,
here.
county line, I believe.
Yes, so that whole, if you go to that county's plan, their website, that whole, that's why they call it a mile, because it's a whole mile from basically Hamilton Town Center all the way up to Cynthia Ann Road, which is a mixed use. There's housing, and so that the Innovation Mile's already open. It just opened up, or the
For the
arena
arena,
this
yeah.
month. It
And then what, USA or US Gymnastics is moving?
Yes,
Out there.
USA Olympic Gymnastics, that will be their headquarters for all around gymnastics, not just a specialty within. So if you look, they have a big road that opens out into Cynthia. So I think it'll be interesting as they develop and what they bring. We'll also then have developers seeking out land in that general quadrant down there. And I think that might guide them. Right. On needs, there might be other needs.
And I think some of this is Ingalls, like I think this is Ingalls right now, and I was thinking this is Madison County, so.
Yeah. Cause they're so
Yeah.
peppered around there.
And exactly, because, I don't think Summer Lake, it's unincorporated right now, but yet the other developments, Spring.
All-
Brook is Ingalls.
All the
Yeah.
commercial.
Actually, that's unincorporated, that's right,
Is it?
that's county. Springbrook is county.
Is it county? I thought they
It's
were
county.
incorporated, okay. And then, 800, we know what's going on there, which. So I do think some of the other three quadrants, how it develops. And more so how Innovation Mile develops. Could push what needs there are.
And you could also see, I mean, I could see Ingalls annexing more and filling that in because they touch every corner of that.
I'm just thinking if that housing development that I looked at in the Innovation Mile, plus if you go. I know we're looking at this differently, but Innovation Mile runs kind of north and west. If you go then fields over to the west, there's some huge community gonna be built with lakes, so more residential. So again, there could be a need for just commercial in this area, because some of that
Right.
Could be. I
gets
mean,
pushed up. into this
But
way.
I would want to, like, Newco Metals is still there,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we've
And
got
the
the
truck
highway
stop.
garage that's there, and I think there's gonna have to be some type of transition between those uses and whatever we're putting in Pendleton.
Cause that, I
We
think
don't know
we've
what's
heard
gonna
it
happen
said the
all the way
character's
around.
been set there.
That land is not.
Right.
She's-
Yeah,
But what we do know is the Innovation Mile plan.
Yes.
The other extremely large community, which we can't remember what it was called, they had so many projects. I was overwhelmed looking at their website.
well, and, with not Ingalls, with LaPel having a new town manager, there might be some opportunity to talk with that community to say, what is in their future land use plan in this
So we can-
area?
so
And
it
how
all
can we
makes
all
sense.
work together?
Absolutely. Yeah.
To make sure that our vision, is not just our vision, but it's South Madison's vision for that area. So, and with this being a future land use map, you guys do have or town council and you guys do have flexibility that this is a guide for future development. That does not mean that if someone comes in with an industrial use for this area, that you have to do it. It cannot be the right fit. And if someone came in that had a really great, local something that fits more in that local commercial category, that's okay. You guys have that flexibility and that discretion to be able to say, these are the benefits that would come to, picking this development or allowing this development to go here that, was not in our game plan necessarily, but we can see the value in it and you can move that forward to town council in a positive way. So you're not locked into this, but again, it's a guide for future development, not a regulation for future development.
I just think that announcement with the gymnastics, that really changes the landscape in a positive way.
So should we consider applying our gateway standards to the 146th Street extension?
Could consider it.
What gateway standards, I guess?
So you're talking about a gateway overlay
Overlay.
district that is like on 38 and 67, yeah. So
Be-
you're right, it does not apply to 700 South, but
Because it will become, in my opinion, the major thoroughfare for residential traffic. I mean, if they can jump on 146 to come up here, to play soccer, to go visit our local establishments, whatever, they'll stay on 146 versus jumping down to 69, popping up and then getting back off.
Or just
So
think
it's-
about the residential that will get built between here and, you know, like that's
13, yeah.
absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah, you guys can absolutely make an amendment to,
I guess I would recommend that so that we are covered with what will probably be our newest gateway into the community.
Good point.
also too, Brad, just to add, it is low to moderate intensity on that industrial. So that is expressed in the comprehensive plan for the industrial piece, so.
Yeah, we don't
Kinda
have
gives-
any heavy.
It's not,
Right.
yeah,
I think Tractor Supply is our heavy. That, you know, that and, the cold storage next door is heavy and Gardner's on 67. Heavy industrial.
What would be required to add the 146th Street extension to the overlay, the gateway overlay?
It would just be an amendment, recommendation from you guys to then take to town council to amend that document.
Is that something we would vote on tonight?
No, it would need notice.
It's not gonna be, it's not gonna be.
It's not on the,
Comp plan. It would be.
it would be an
Yeah, to
amendment
the
to the
UDO.
chapter, to the chapter of the UDO.
yeah.
Yeah.
So would we vote on tonight to, that we agree that we want you then to make public notice?
You don't have to vote on that, I'll just do it.
Then I
Yeah,
think
we
we
can
go
do that for
forward.
November.
See what that, yeah.
But I do like your suggestion, Brad, is being on top of, especially a new gateway, instead of having things built and then we're behind it.
Yes, things that have already happened.
Yeah.
Which we kind of are.
And I think having this too as a guide, even though the 146th Street, you know, is not built yet, we just have a chunk of 700. How would you recommend we go about that? I mean,
go about,
so our gateway would only be able to go to the end of 700 as far as what exists right now. The 146th Street, we do show kind of cutting through Neil Smith's property and coming down, and you know, that happens with development. Can you show that on a map, even though the road doesn't exist yet?
I think what your UDO would say, you would add 700. I think the language that you add in the amendment would be the key thing. So you would
Okay.
be talking about 700 and the future 146 extension. That would be the language. So if anything's
Okay.
getting constructed, that would be part of that 146th Street extension, then
Okay,
that ordinance would then apply to.
okay. Instead of trying to just put it on a map somewhere.
Yeah, don't,
with that
because
hash
it may
mark.
not Right?
Yeah, that
I
might
mean, I
not be
think in
where it goes.
The thoroughfare plan shows, you know,
Yeah,
the connection, right?
yeah,
So when
it
it's
does.
actually getting designed and constructed, like, that's when the UDO would kick in.
okay. So yeah, we'll do a public hearing for a UDO amendment for that chapter.
And I think tonight is officially the public hearing for this
It
too,
is,
so.
yeah.
whenever
So do
it's
they
on that.
need to vote on each one separately?
Yeah, that's what we
Okay,
set the third recommendation.
Can you walk Gerald through the closing and of the opening of the public hearing?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's after our presentation.
Yeah, where we open that.
I guess, yeah, are there any other questions just about the comp plan in general? that I can answer? And the downtown plan is part of this too, so. Forget that. All right.
thank you, Rachel.
Thanks.
So commission members, what I would recommend is treating the comprehensive plan and the downtown revitalization plan separately. So we'll open a public hearing for each of them separately, see if anybody wishes to speak. After it's finished, close the public hearing on that comp plan. Then we'll go to the downtown revitalization plan. And then you can make a recommendation if you you can do it really in either order. You could do the comprehensive plan if you like, close the public hearing, and then seek a motion and have a recommendation to go to the council. This probably makes the most sense. You finish that one and then go to the downs.
So we will open the public hearing. Is that all I need to say?
For the
For the
comprehensive.
comp plan, yes, comprehensive plan.
At
And-
7:26.
Ask for any public input. If anyone wants to make any comments.
Ed?
I'm just here taking notes this evening, but thank you
You sure?
for this evening. I'm just keeping tabs, seeing what's going on.
Any other? Are there any
There
other?
isn't.
Thank you. Okay. Then I will close the public hearing and
7:26.
at 7:26. I will accept a motion to make a favorable recommendation to the town council for the comprehensive plan. Cheryl?
Second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Do we have to do roll call? Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Wash, rinse, repeat for downtown plan.
All right, if I remember. So Rachel, you're gonna walk us through the downtown revitalization plan?
I can. We,
Or any
we didn't have
changes?
any changes from last
Yeah.
month's meeting on the downtown revitalization plan, so I can go through, it's the same presentation.
Okay.
So it was just further along in it, so if there's anything you guys have questions on, or I can go through it if you want, but if not, that's okay too. I don't have page numbers on mine, or I would.
Does anyone have any comments or questions?
Changes and then changes for the.
No.
I saw a typo, I'm sorry. Like.
In the downtown plan?
Downtown plan, like, is there?
You can, if it's just like if it's not changing like
Yeah,
substantial
it was
content,
a
we can,
typo. I
if we
had
found
it
it
down
typo,
there.
we'll-
You can always change Scribner's errors, right? About
especially right
I
now.
will look for that. Okay, so I'm going to open the public hearing for the downtown revitalization plan. And ask for any public input. And if there is none, I will close the public hearing at 7:28. And entertain a motion to give a favorable recommendation to the town council for the downtown revitalization plan.
I make a motion to approve the downtown.
To send a favorable
Send a
recommendation.
favorable recommendation.
Would it, just for technicalities, would it be as as to adopt it as part of the comprehensive plan?
Great question. We were talking about that earlier today.
Good.
I think, so we have a motion just for the record, but, public comment. In discussing it with town planning staff and everybody today, I think, as I understand it, it was treated separately. I will tell you, I've done it as an addendum to comprehensive plans. I don't know if that was your recommendation or intent. I think, again, I don't want to put words in everybody's mouth, but I think the planning team was a little bit indifferent to who they could treat it differently. I think from my perspective, I see some pros to having it tied together, but I also know other municipalities do it independent. So what do you recommend?
Then would we
Now I feel like I'm on the spot.
Yeah. Does that do the same thing with the I-69 plan then too?
I mean, are you
The
saying,
same thing?
you wanting it as an addendum then to the comprehensive plan? Is that what you're asking? Cause I know there's two separate.
Yeah,
Planning
they were two separate documents, and I think I thought the intention was when we were doing it that they would be done in tandem and they would be reflective of one another. The comp plan, I think, does reference the downtown plan. So I don't know if I have a recommendation on that or not. I
How
think,
would they be treated? So one isn't subservient to the other, right?
I would say your comp plan is your guiding one, that is the main ship, and then this one would be one that follows it.
But then merging them together, is that what we're looking at? Like when we approve both, they just become part of the same document?
The way, I would say, the way it is treated as we sit here today, is they're two separate documents. So while the comp plan is certainly a guide, we get into development and other things. There are sometimes developers will come up and, you know, there may be issues that would arise through that, depending upon if it's adhering to our comp plan or not. And right now with the downtown revitalization being separate, I would say it still serves as a guide, like we've talked about. But it doesn't necessarily have the statutory teeth behind it if it's not
There we go.
an addendum to the comp plan, is how I would describe it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So for it to have statutory teeth, it has to be an addendum to the comp plan.
I would say it's better that
It's stronger.
it's probably stronger. I wouldn't say it's necessarily, has to. And again, I would say there are municipalities that do them separate and, they're both guides, right? And they can be changed, they can be amended. And so I think these are good discussions to have and what's our desire, you know, as a town and how do we see it? I think, as I understand it, you know, the downtown plan kind of started for maybe some different reasons. And certainly the comp plan's been a while, both of them have been a while, so we wanted to update them both, so.
How was, the interchange master plan adopted? Does anyone remember that?
That was right when I started. I don't really know.
Yeah,
Put it in a- After through resolution.
but as an amendment to the comp plan or as just a document that got adopted? Or that got it? I mean, I guess like, would it even have to be something that is a public hearing then? I'm sorry, I'm totally being a pest
With the
with the
downtown,
downtown plan. Like, if it's not being formally adopted as part of the comp plan, did we even have to have a public hearing for it tonight?
if it's not part of the comp plan, I would agree, it doesn't technically have to, but the way that it was set up, we wanted to treat it in a similar procedure, even though statutorily necessarily, it's not required. And I understand it's been noticed that way. And to just follow similar formalities, in some way, it, you know, maybe it's form over substance and,
Was
but
the 15 plan part of the comp plan, the one that Okra did?
No, because our comp plan at the time was old and
I would recommend that we make an amendment to the comp plan based upon the fact that we have had the public hearing and that way it's more tightly integrated with regards to the two documents.
Do that with what we had noticed in the resolution paperwork, recommendation paperwork. We would just amend the recommendation paperwork. That is for approval as a part of the comp plan.
what did the notice, it just said recommending the downtown. or
Yeah, it
discussion.
didn't say either way. It just said recommendation for the updates to the comp plan and the downtown plan. That's how it was.
was it
written, but
noticed
it's
together or separately?
Together.
They were noticed together. So I'm just thinking off my head here, I mean, like the comp plan, the language never mentions the fact that the downtown plan is addendum to the comp plan. So that's,
No, but I think it talks about.
it talks about that they were doing it in tandem and that the fact that the processes were streamlined and, you know, and all that.
But in the goals and objectives section, I guess I was thinking there's references to like the I-69 plan. Cause I thought the intention was, cause I guess my thought was the intention was they would be adopted as part of the comprehensive plan. So even the interchange master plan update or that extra, that would all be part of the comp plan.
I mean,
So-
as long as it works and we can use it, if that works better and we just have everything kind of branch out of the comp plan,
Yeah.
whether it's the I-69 plan or anything we do in the future, like a bike ped plan.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. It's just, how do we deal with that?
And I completely recognize that I am being your consultant and a former planning director at the same time, so.
Well, if we can take care of it to make it stronger, let's just do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I just don't think I really understood that the two were related, a plan's a plan as a guide,
I would recommend, to the extent that it wasn't noticed as an addendum to the comp plan, that we would re-notice it.
Okay.
So it's very clear, and when we then come back, that this will be included as part of it.
If that's what you guys want, right? Like,
Correct, if
that's
that's
what-
what it.
that's-
if
I mean,
that's what it
moving
wants.
forward, if that's what we're gonna do with all of our plans, we might as well do it with this one, even though it never has been before. So,
Well, okay. Well, I don't know. Like I thought the interchange master plan was adopted as part of the comp plan.
we can check, I just don't know, but I know since you say with this one in 15 was not adopted as part of the comp plan, because,
I do believe that thoroughfare.
Was adopted as part of the comp plan.
yeah, so let's
But I
just do
don't-
that.
I think as we have these other plans, we need to integrate them in the
Absolutely.
future.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's
they'll
part of the
certainly be there.
maturation of this,
Yeah.
our town.
Right.
They'll be their own document though, for ease of going through them, but, we will just renotice the downtown plan, but we did get the comp plan taken care
Correct.
of. Okay.
And procedurally, so Jen, you have a motion, you want to withdraw that and then ask that we renotice the downtown revitalization plan. That's the
So I would like to withdraw my motion support.
Do that. So we'll have two things then on the agenda next.
I think it's worth waiting one more month.
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
Especially if it has statutorily, if it's stronger for us as a board,
Yeah.
moving forward.
And we
that's
were-
the right thing to do.
We weren't planning on giving the town council till November anyway, so we can kind of just let them know the situation. That way, if there's any, anything they have with the downtown plan.
Hopefully, better solution, I mean.
No, I think this is pretty cut and dry. That shouldn't be
Yeah.
that big of a deal, but that way we can still keep on track with getting it to them for first read in November. Cause we weren't gonna do that till November anyway. So it works since they're a week after you.
Yeah.
So it's the thought, we'll do a presentation still next at town council.
Yeah, for the comp plan.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the downtown plan as well, because we'll have them in November, yeah.
Would it be appropriate to ask for a motion to make an amendment, just an additional verbiage in the downtown plan? To make that clear that it is being adopted as part of the comprehensive plan? That way we have that in the language in the introduction of the downtown
Okay, so
plan,
there can be
maybe something that makes that clarity.
So if you're looking at that document by
Yes.
itself, you know it's part of
Yes.
the comp
And
plan.
then have the part of the comp
And we
plan.
can do that in our new plan with Chris too, in the introduction.
So our board needs to make a motion to make,
Or you're saying for the
No, I think,
downtown revitalization.
yes, if you make a motion to have that additional sentence or clarification in there, and we could.
Do we want it in the
real
comp plan?
Built, well, we've already approved the comp plan, we've already given the favorable recommendation of the comp plan, but I think if we make that addition to the downtown plan, that way that transition is, or that addendum piece.
But we don't need a motion.
I mean, they really could just do it and then present
And
it
then
to you
present-
next
that's
month.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So we'll just add that sentence and then the changes right here. I can show you, we'll show you that sentence.
So do we need a motion to integrate?
We need a motion for some, we need a motion for your motion.
I think we understand what it is. If for the record, for the minutes, if we want to make it clear, a motion to, just incorporate the downtown revitalization plan introduction, to be clear that is fine, and we can second it. I think we understand that.
You started.
can you say after this, and I'll second it? I'll make a motion to clean up the language in the downtown revitalization plan to mention the comprehensive plan. And we will also wait next month to formally,
Essentially, it's just gonna be an addendum to the
Okay.
comp plan.
to make an addendum to the comp plan.
Good job, Jenny.
I'll second it.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Perfect, with the error.
Thanks, guys.
And I don't have any other updates for you, so I'll get those couple things taken care of.
All right. Meeting adjourned.